Oh, that's pretty cool. Can't wait to see it. Now that I said that, that'll be our first commentator's curse where they don't get any mail upgrades.
And they're off. With starting in different places, nice.
But they end up with the same item, a piece of heart.
Yeah. Looks like Maniacal is doing the kill one guard and test the pull here before he goes to check Uncle. And bombs in the tree, that's always nice to see.
Yeah, tier 1 tree pull being bombs. I always love to see that starting out. It definitely makes your initial clear Kakariko much easier.
Now, Jade is doing the route I usually do, which I go from Sanctuary and kill that one jelly and take this tree.
And Maniacal's doing the route I normally do, so that's kind of funny.
Nope, nothing so far for both of them. Just a full heart and the lumberjack.
Yep, so Maniacal's going to be following about a minute behind Jade here.
So I think Jade did another kill because there is a... I didn't know about this until recently. That tree right there, you can pull it.
Yep, and it looks, because the tier 1 is a very good one, they're just taking it instead of trying to build up for a tier 4 or tier 2 or tier 3 for the 4 kills.
Yep. And a commentator's curse didn't happen this time. We immediately got a blue mail as the very first item. Oh, and half magic.
Those are some really nice safety and convenience items to start out with.
You're not going to be killed that easily this early on. That's good.
So we're waiting on our first map check to see where our crystals and pendants are.
Maybe a little bit while they check Overworld stuff and decide if they want to head into Eastern or anywhere else.
Yeah, I always mean to check it really early, and then I never remember to.
Oh, and early silvers, too.
Yeah, Moon Pearl and silvers and a big stack of cash. So we're starting out good in blindside.
Oh, I missed the I missed the Moon Pearl. Yeah, immediately they're able to fake Flipper to get the Firefall if they head down that direction and feel so inclined to do so.
Maniacal's going for the well first.
Interesting. Definitely seeing a lot of different routes through Kakariko rather than the one I always choose, but
yeah, there's plenty of really good runners that just go from south to north, and they go around, grab some bombs at the Grove, and that's just their standard route.
I'd be interested to see which one's actually faster. And wow.
So not only do we buy a hammer for just 100 rupees, but we're 2/3 of the way to that Dark World access.
Nice. So no Aghanim yet. Actually, I don't think they need Aghanim at all.
Yeah, I can't think of a scenario right now, but maybe we could come up with one. I mean, I guess if both glove upgrades are in the Dark World.
Yeah, that can happen.
But that would seem especially trolly. They give you the hammer and the moon pearl right away, and then nowhere else here is that lift upgrade.
And then gloves on the pyramid, and then mitt somewhere else. Oof. Oh,
we had the fire rod in the library.
Wow.
Required somewhere around 98% of the time.
Well, SailorJade just going straight up to the race. If you got the bombs, might as well. You'll save a couple seconds if it is something good. And it's not.
Not just a red rupee, so saving and quitting, and we'll see where they go now. The hammer being a good weapon, just about anything would be a decent option at this point.
Yep. No fear going into Mini Mulgorn Cave. And trying to cook your bombs right.
Oh, and we have our check. It looked like hair was a blue pendant and just regular crystals elsewhere. So SailorJade opted to do the South Shore route, and it looks like Maniacal is actually heading towards escape here. So some route divergence.
Yep, and having a weapon, it's pretty easy to decide to go here. Oh, ether. Hanging out in the dam.
Unfortunately, we can't use that until we get our sword, or else it would be handy here in the Mini Mulgorn Cave with that half magic.
Yeah, but it's nice to have it in case you need it later. That way you're not worrying about what Misery Mire or Turtle Rock need. See here, Jade's having a little trouble with the, for some reason, the hammer having a shorter hitbox when you go up and down.
Yeah, the up hitbox is a nightmare with the hammer. Taking advantage of that blue mail and just powering through, though.
And, oh, there's the gloves. We got Dark World access now.
Yeah, we have a bottle and the gloves, so now we can really have diverging routes.
And deciding not to go to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, with how much is open to them, it really becomes difficult as to where to go next.
Looks like we're going straight to Hype Cave.
Which is a very good option. You know, there's 5 items there. You can get them right away. And, you know, every once in a while, Hype Cave does have a worthwhile item.
Might as well decide to get the check early. Make sure it's not gonna, you're not hoping on it later.
And really, with 6 hearts so far and Dark World access, picking up a heart would not be the worst thing in the world.
Right. Oh, it immediately pays off. Wow! Wow!
It's Hype Cave!
Holy crap! That was
Hype Cave is back!
Holy crap!
We have mitts, we have hookshot, and we have flippers.
And that just opened up a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it gets really interesting for SailorJade because there is so much open. Like, if you count the sequence break up to Death Mountain, like, even more.
Right. Oh, and don't even need a sequence break if if SailorJade decides to go to Sahasrahla, because there was the lamp over there that Maniacal picked up.
So very wide open seed.
So I don't think we're going to see them do similar things for a while.
So SailorJade's making her way to the digging game. How many digs do we think we're gonna get?
5.
I'm gonna go with 29.
Oh, rude. I lost count already.
Knuckles makes his way through Eastern. Just a piece of heart, but it wasn't quite 29, but it was around 20, somewhere around there. The first item in Eastern was just an arrow upgrade, so Maniacal is still making his way through.
Hoping to find bow. But it's not often you see it here.
And just a piece of heart, so he already has found 2 of the items in the first 2 chests.
And SailorJade making their way through Village Outcasts. Only a piece of heart in the Bombable Hut. Oh, and there's a single rupee.
So it feels like the items have slowed down a little bit now. Maniacal was getting trolled a little bit by that stall child.
They are pretty annoying. Wow, there's nothing in Eastern at all.
Yep. Opting to leave the vanilla big key for later. That's a perfectly reasonable decision. Maybe you'll have boots when you come back.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Jade is jumping into Thieves Town with 6 hearts, blue mail, and no sword.
Well, they do have a red potion.
That's
Yeah,
true.
right.
She has everything they need to beat it, so, to make your way through, it could be great items in here. Maniacal's a minute or so away from his Dark World access.
See if he decides to go straight to Hype Cave, or maybe goes to the Village of Outcasts first.
So not much yet here in Thieves Town.
Just much mice so far. There's 2 items in the back. What is that? What was that? Bunny sprite.
That's funny. It looks like a blue fairy.
Oh, is that what that was?
I think so.
Cute.
Definitely haven't seen that before either.
Maniacal picking up his red pot and fire gloves. And we'll see what he decides to do with them. Because Jade immediately left to go to Hype Cave.
Yeah, looks like he's opting to finish off this part of the route.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Sometimes I like to wait for flute, but sometimes you don't get it. So might as well not chance it.
Yep, and he has no idea what sort of hype is waiting for him in Hype Cave, so this is a good decision. Just finish this out.
I know with my routing, Hype Cave would have been the last thing I checked in the Overworld almost. Because I start in Skull Woods and work my way down. Oh, and unfortunately, Ice Cave doesn't have anything. Oh, the single arrow.
And the Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town showing up with the validation items. Got the validation arrow and one of the validation rubies. All we need is the last item here to be the other ruby, and we'll be good to go. Maniacal is getting some money for Zora.
Yep, so we're probably about to see a fake look up here.
Little does he know that if he walked up the Hype Cave, he wouldn't have to do the fake part.
Yep.
But with that quick of a setup, I don't think it really matters. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jade realizing that our stun prize is actually a heart.
Oh, that can be useful a lot later. And Hobo just has some cash.
So that means that Blind has an item.
Yep, with 4 hearts and red potion and blue mail. Well, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, as long as SailorJade has practiced with the hammer a couple times and knows at least a rough pattern to follow with the hammer, it should be fine.
And blind spot is... What? I missed that. Novice?
Yeah, novice skier sometimes jumps to contusions.
Oh. Wow.
So nothing in the waterfall cave. Continuing on up to Zora, and we have a nice fight going on over here with SailorJade.
Alright, 2 heads down, 1 more to go. And blind's down.
So we had simultaneous item grabs that weren't really of any value, but we do have our first crystal with SailorJade.
Yep, it's nice to have that early on.
It does look like Maniacal is... He actually... checking back of escape. That's a good play. Before Dark World.
Yeah, because you never know. You know, just something in there that you might need.
Especially since he's already done the front, so he'll know if there is an item to get in the back.
Was that Pendant, Meyer, and what? I don't know.
Yeah, I completely missed the map check.
I think Desert was 5. Because I only saw 6. Or vice versa. Oh, right. Our tracker already has it as 5. 5, 6. Thank you, Slim Kirby.
Oh, and we have the mirror in Skullwoods.
Nice. Skullwood's always having at least one good item.
So Maniacal could be going to Dark World, or he could be opting to just unlock the Death Mountain portal.
Looks like going to Village of Outcasts, maybe.
Yeah, he might be joining SailorJade in Skullwoods.
Mm-hmm. He does have the bottle, so does he remember it? Looks like it. Always remember sick kid. Oh!
Wow, Ice Rod from Sick Kid.
He's such an easy little guy to miss, and sometimes he has the best items. Well, I guess not best item, but useful.
Required item.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed what was in the big chest in Skullwoods, but given that SailorJade is continuing on, it must not have been important.
It was a small key. Ooh, having just the hammer in this area is not fun. I don't think I've ever been here this unequipped.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the hookshot does not stun the Gyptos.
Okay, looks like red pennant was Ice Palace and 5 was, or 6 was Swamp. Oh, and the rest of Skullwoods is locked behind the boots.
So SailorJade has made a good initial sweep here. Looking at their items, I have to wonder if they're going to make the swamp play.
It's possible.
They don't have too many items, but they have the entire swamp kit. They got their mirror, they got their hookshot, they got their flippers, they got their hammer.
Without even a sword at all, it's going to be an interesting, it would be an interesting Argus fight. A lot of menuing.
Yeah, menu strats.
So, where do you think our first sword will be?
I don't know, it's shaping up to be a pretty late sword, I think. How about Argus drops the first sword? That'll be a little bit earlier, unless our runners put that off.
Wow. And there's still a lot of places to check, but
Yeah, especially since SailorJade skipped out on escape, and also she's checking the back now, but also Eastern. So there are a lot of things, particularly for them. And with the hookshot, going up Death Mountain once they get the lamp is probably a good play as well.
yeah, so once SailorJade decides to go to Sahasrara, they'll have the lamp and maybe decide to do, the 50 items on Death Mountain and Death Mountain.
There are a lot of items available up there, for sure.
Especially when you have both the hookshot and the hammer and the mitts and the pearl.
Yeah, pretty much everything except for Spike Cave at this point could be cleared.
Mm-hmm.
And if they filled up their bottle with a red potion, they could sequence break that too if they wanted to.
Is that enough parts? I don't know.
It would be enough. It would be very close, but it should be enough, especially with the hook shot to help out.
Yeah. Yeah, Slim Kirby mentioned Jade didn't go back with the mirror to get Sick Kid. Hopefully, well, I guess the C could be fluteless because Meyer is dependent. Hopefully, if Jade picks up the flute when you go activate it, go check the Sick Kid.
Yeah, it just might not have fit into the route in a natural way yet. Walking all the way back, they probably thought, well, we'll find the flute at some point, or if we don't, we'll just have to go back later.
Mm-hmm.
Maniacal is now cleaning up Village Outcast, and I would imagine he will also opt to do Thieves Town. So we got our runners doing things that the other one has already done.
Yep, there's always this point where they had to retrace each other's steps. Depends on if Maniacal feels comfortable doing hammer blind.
Yeah, he still has his red potion, so and he has more hearts than SailorJade had, so I think he'll be okay with it. But he does not have his hook shot from Hype Cave yet, which would help out with the movement in here.
Yeah.
And it would also give him access to the stun heart prize.
Interesting, my map calls the Sick Kid Bug Kid.
Well, he does like collecting bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So SailorJade might be doing what I said before and making that play on Swamp.
Yep.
Or we might be getting faked out.
Looks like it.
South of Grove Ledge, possibly?
Possibly. Looks like it. I know I've seen a bunch of items there before. Most notably, I've seen the flippers there, and I've also seen the bow. And it's nothing. But still, oh, that was a kill. Nice.
Yeah, finished off a heart, so they're up to 10 now. You get that early Dark World access, it's good to get those hearts. They got here with 6 originally, so now that they're up to 10, I'm sure they're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah. And then the early melt always helps with that. As well. Count your hearts as double.
Very true.
And Maniacal getting his single arrow.
He has to watch his health here, but he does have some heart pots in the basement, so as long as he's careful, he'll be all right. So SailorJade, because they did not yet do the Zora area, might be routing this all together with Catfish. So it's a good play. It makes things a little bit more efficient here.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got the mirror when you go check Catfish and you hadn't done all that stuff yet, it's really nice. Even if you don't get much, it feels very efficient. Ooh, the red ring. Oh, and not getting it.
Even if you're not a fan, that can sometimes help with some menuing, so I would probably just go grab it in case it speeds up my menu times a little bit.
I really love having boomerangs because they stun Gyptos, and those are the bane of my existence.
That too. That's always a useful use, I guess, for the boomerang. Maniacal's back up to 5 hearts and leading blind up to the boss room.
Catfish just does cash.
Yeah, so from here, I would expect Maniacal to continue on down through the South Dark World, but I'm not sure where SailorJade's going to opt to go.
Well, there's still another couple of dungeons to dive into. Pretty much the only one completely available is Swamp.
Yeah, but if they go to Sirhashila, that logically available Death Mountain will look pretty good.
Yep.
Maniacal's having a little bit of trouble with the Hammer Blind, but he is on the final phase. And he gets him down. So both Catfish and Zora had 300 rupees.
So net gain of 100.
Maybe this time it's the Swamp play?
Maybe, hopefully.
It is Crystal 6.
And it is a pretty... I think it's a pretty easy dungeon. It's just long if you check everything.
Getting faked out again.
Jay does not want to go to Swamp. Personally, it's my favorite dungeon, but a lot of people don't like it because of how long it is. If you check the left side.
As far as the design of the dungeon, I like the dungeon design. I don't like going there though. It's a nice dungeon. It's nicely designed. Good aesthetics, all that. But I don't want to go there.
Instead of deciding possibly to go to Pod without go, hopefully it doesn't get locked.
I mean, this isn't a bad play if they mirror and check Sirhashila along the way, and then mirror and check Eastern as well. That would actually check a lot of locations and mark some things off.
Definitely feels, if you put them all together, it feels like a bunch more items.
It just depends how bow-locked Pod ends up being.
It's always a worry that immediately it'll be locked.
So this is unfortunate. I think Maniacal is looking at his items and he's saying, you know what, Death Mountain's a good play. And it is, but if he would have continued on to Hype Cave, he would have been able to do a lot more while he was up here.
Yeah.
But he can do the entire Light World with what he has right now, so that's probably what he's thinking.
It's 8 items plus anything you find in here. So it still looks good. Looks good on paper. Plus the spectral rock cave specifically.
Yeah, quite a few items.
I was trying to count Old Man and Spectacle Rock.
I'm just hoping it doesn't keep him away from that Hype Cave. Whatever he finds doesn't keep him away from Hype Cave for long. I mean, it is a Midson Hype Cave, so it, a lot's blocked behind that, but we'll see what happens.
And yeah, Super Nintendo says is maybe there's nothing in Dark Death Mountain, but he'll still eventually check it, unless somehow he gets go moded before then.
Yeah, the one unfortunate thing is, even if there's not any good items, he won't be able to know what the medallion requirement is for Turtle Rock until he comes all the way back up.
Yeah, and ooh, Pot is completely boat locked. That is unfortunate.
Yep, and at the very least, it's good information. So, and SailorJade picked up their lamp on the way there. So, after they go through Eastern, I would think that they're going to make the play up Death Mountain as well.
Mm-hmm.
So both of our runners are in dungeons now, and one of them we haven't seen yet. Already seeing a dungeon item makes you think, oh boy, I might have to do the tile room.
And it's sad really when you see the big key.
Yep, and then when you see the map in the next chest, it's like, oh, come on. Now I have to decide whether to gamble. Taking a little fall, but getting right back up.
And I guess we'll see if Jade decides to get the big key in Eastern.
Ooh, we took a fall in the middle hole here, so we'll go all the way back down to the bottom. There was a cape in the first chest there at the top.
Interesting. I don't know. Did Maniacal check Stump Kid?
I don't know if he made it there. He did Digging Game, but he might have stopped at that point. If he made it all the way to Stumpy, I can't imagine why he wouldn't have gone to Hype Cave from there.
Yeah.
So the important thing with Cape is it actually does make Spike Cave logically available now, and it's right here.
It's always nice to have the items that you want to use, like nearby the things that they're used for. Words.
Absolutely. But he would have to reclimb, so we'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, that one item versus getting the other 7 first, or 8. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to do Spiral Cave, go back up and to Paradox Cave, and then go drop down to Spec Cave.
I agree. If you wanted to do all of it in one go, that would probably be the fastest. So the second item was not valuable, but we have a pendant. We know there's not an item in the basement, so just something checked off the list and move along.
We got SailorJade check-in Death Mountain now. We'll see in a couple more item checks than we'll see from Maniacal because of the mitts.
Yeah, and there's several different ways they could choose to route it, so we'll see which one they go with. They could go right up to Hera, or they could do the whole east side first if they decided to.
Yeah, definitely. If I have mitts and everything I need for Death Mountain, it's always tough for me to decide which way to go because I haven't figured out a way to not go up and down uselessly for at least one trip.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just the bomb upgrade in Spike Cave.
That always sucks. And I still haven't found a sword. 41 minutes in.
I told him it was on Argus, so they just didn't go to Swamp. And we're already getting value here. Got a flute and a bottle.
Alrighty.
So hopefully for Jade, that flute will get them to Sick Kid.
Yeah.
And having to use bombs because they spurned the boomerang on the pyramid.
Another bottle of blue potion. That's always nice. Free 150 or 160 rupees. And nothing in here.
Yeah, top floor not so much, but that flute down below is some value.
Oh really? The sword is on the floating island. Jade's gonna be able to get that.
That is unfortunate for Maniacal.
It's very unfortunate. Oh.
And getting dead rock blocked.
I bet even before checking Spiral Cave or anything, Jade's gonna go immediately to Turtle Rock, open it up, and then go get that sword.
Unfortunately, she can open the portal, but if it's Ether, they won't be able to open it because they don't have that sword that's sitting there yet.
Yeah.
But getting the portal opened and taking the top way to the dark world is a good option here.
Mm-hmm. There's Bombos.
So unfortunately, Maniacal will have to backtrack for a sword, but I'm thinking, he will be going to Hype Cave before too long after this because not much else has opened up.
Right. And at least he knows exactly where the sword is. Having a knowledge is a lot quicker than having to search around for it.
And honestly, if Swamp is his next play, I don't think he'll be in a hurry to come get the sword because the fighter sword in Swamp is just not very good.
And might as well just use the hammer. Hookshot Cave. Nothing much so far. Oh, there's a shield.
So it looks like Fighter Sword and Fighter Shield are the two things that Maniacal will be missing out on. So not too bad. I mean, the sword is a little bit of a hurt, but he will be able to still clear Swamp and some other dungeons, depending on what other items he gets.
Yeah. And he's got his flute now, so he's got a couple more places to check. Well, actually, without the mitts, still has to go grab that if he wants to check the Mire area and desert.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for Maniacal's sake he flutes right on over to 4 and checks Hype Cave pretty soon.
Yes, there you go.
Now, he might opt, because he saw that sword, to just go right back up. I think that would be a little bit of an overreaction with other stuff to do down here, but I could see where he's coming from. He knows where sword is that he can get. It would be hard to pass it up.
Yeah. Depends on where he wants to go next.
That's true. If he were to flute on over to Mire and it's ether, and he decides he wants to dip in there without Kane, then he needs to go get the sword.
Yeah. Let's have a second look at this hype cave. It's so good seeing so many good items in one go.
And Maniacal bombs the generous guy. He might be heading directly to Swamp. Nope, he might be going to get his sword. And then checking Dark Death Mountain.
Yep, might as well while you're here and grabbing your sword.
There is a little bit of like 1v1 thought to this too, because you would think that, well, my opponent probably did do Hype Cave before they went up there, and if they did, then if there's anything good in Dark Death Mountain, they have it and I don't.
Yeah. It's always tough to gauge where your opponent could possibly be.
And after this, the routes are going to be pretty much converged, I believe. There's a few isolated locations, I think, that haven't been checked. I don't think Maniacal did the Graveyard Ledge, the South of Grove Ledge, or the Stumpy. But other than that, it's pretty close.
Right, and might be saving the Graveyard Ledge for when they get boots, so they can get those four checks in the that you can get to from the Dark World out of the way. For the Bumper Cave, you can mirror onto Bonk Rocks, and you can finish up King's Tomb.
Yeah, we just had a center fall to Moldorm, which is unfortunate, especially because we know the prize is only going to be some rupees.
Yeah. It's unfortunate when a pendant boss has nothing on it, and then also is a pendant that is nothing. Unless pedestal, which can't think of anything that could be on pedestal right now.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
That is unfortunate. Sticking with it though.
Yeah, you're already here. Might as well kill Moldorm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're a fan of that Willard match from yesterday where he left items behind in Hera twice. They might be thinking about that one.
Oh no.
So Maniacal has a sword in hand and a few good options ahead of them. But Swamp really seems to be a good play. Also checking the Mire area at this point.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so reluctant to go to Swamp right now. Deciding not to check Nagina.
Yeah, I think he was just checking the ledge item for now. He might get that before he leaves the area, but I expect him to check most of the overworld stuff here and probably do as much as he can in desert. I don't know about Mire. It's
Mire's
Quake, so he can't go in there even if he wanted to.
so much for getting Ether early. Absolutely useless.
Especially since he didn't have a sword to make use of it, against some enemies or along the way. That half magic and ether, they could have, zapped the Gibdos, zapped the mini Moldorms, but no.
So I say he's probably gonna check Checkerboard Cave, then jump off and go to Nagina. Agina? I don't know. How do you say it?
I change it every time because I have no idea.
I'm deciding not to check Agina.
Hopefully he remembers.
Hope Agina doesn't have anything useful.
One or the other. All right, we get to see if boots are required to beat desert. We already know that they are required to get the fire rod. Oh gosh, they're required for the bow.
2 items that are bow locked, like, immediately.
Yeah, so the boots are locking the bow in Desert Palace and the fire rod in the library.
Wow.
And the bow is locking all of Pod. So without the boots showing up pretty soon, our runners are going to run out of things to do.
Yeah.
But there still is Swamp.
Just really want to see them go into Swamp. Yes, indispensable. I think that's how you say it. They have gone into Stolwas. That's where they found the mirror.
Yep, I believe there's still one item that's fire rod locked, but it means it's also boots locked.
Yep. Watch that be another big item. Oh, the mushroom.
This would be like a pretty mild force double dip if the mushroom turns into the boots.
Yeah.
Because you already have to have the flute to get here, so it doesn't take that long to do.
Yeah, having an item on the mushroom might as well just be having the item. if
as long as you have flute.
As long as you got the flute.
So SailorJade is activating their flute. Let's see if they go down to the sick kid. Oh, there's Quake. Now that is very interesting.
That opens up his Mire. Which is a green pendant, I think.
Yep, but they can't get the pendant yet. But the boots could easily be sitting in there since they have the hook shot. Still, I think Swamp is probably a better play. It looks like Maniacal might be heading that way.
Finally. Because if you've seen the bow and where it is, no reason to go to pod.
Yep, I agree.
Unless the boots end up being in pod. Are we finally right? I think we're finally right.
All right, we got 6 items ahead and half of the Fat Fairy item or crystals, so this could be a lot of value here. And keep in mind, this was available logically, as soon as they had Dark World access. Everything in here.
Yep.
They just had to go to Skull Woods to pick up the mirror and Hype Cave to pick up the flippers and the hookshot.
God, now I forgot where Hammer was. It was, oh, it was Bottle Vendor.
Yep.
Oh, I missed what was in Head Cave. And there went my phone.
Yeah, I missed it too. He needs to actually watch his heart count here.
He's getting bullied by the enemies around here.
Shovel in the first chest.
More fetch quests.
I don't know if Maniacal discovered that the stun prize is hearts yet, because he did just get his hookshot.
I'm not sure. Well, we might be seeing SailorJade go to Swamp.
Yeah, after all that, it looks like our runners might be in the same dungeon at the same time.
For the first time in however long?
It's been quite a while. So one thing Maniacal might not be aware of is sometimes you can duplicate hearts when you use the hookshot on them. But now he doesn't have to worry because he just got the last quarter piece.
Nice. And it looks like I missed it when SailorJade activated their flute, but it looks like they didn't pick up the ice rod.
Yeah, so that could be a concern here.
Yeah, always remember Sick Kid.
Especially since they're up to 3 bottles now, they might just be thinking, oh yeah, I had to have checked that.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think it's the area I've seen missed the most. The one-off item, if you don't get it right away.
Yeah, and the frustrating thing is, it's just a flute away, right? Like, it's not that hard to get to, but you just have to remember it.
I'm gonna see what items are on the left side after the lengthy setup you have to do to get there. What really sucks is there's only 2 items over here, but if one of them just happens to be something you need, it's the absolute worst if you decide not to go get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
So I'm looking at the items, and I think we're Boots, Kane, and Bombos away from Go mode.
Yep, because we know where both the Fire Rod and the bow are.
So really not too many items left that they need to find.
And at
I
least
guess they
one
need
more sword.
they need another sword, yeah.
Yeah, but that's usually eventually you'll find one. Hopefully.
I already said that there's one on Argus, right? So
yeah. And so once Argus has one, that's all they need.
So Maniacal getting trolled by the left side of Swamp.
Yeah.
Vanilla big key, and then it opens the map.
Yeah. Having trouble picking up the skull. Sometimes I have trouble picking that up too. I don't know exactly what the clip is.
Yeah, it just can be a little tricky sometimes. I'm not sure what causes it either. I think it's just a very precise pixel that you can kind of luck your way into most of the time, but sometimes it just doesn't seem to work.
Now for the real meat of Swamp.
And there are the boots.
I just immediately unlocked 2 items to go grab.
Yeah, so that he must be feeling really good about that. He can actually now he can finish Desert as well after this, and that would unlock the Pyramid Fairy.
Mm-hmm. He could have finished Desert while he was there.
That is true.
With the lamp. But with Fighter Sword only. Or hammer.
It's Ice Rod and half magic, but those are tougher shots to time.
I've never tried Ice Rod with land molds.
It does the same damage as Fire Rod, but it has that little delay that Ice Rod has, you know?
Yeah. Oh, menu percent Argus time. It's not a hard fight, but it is a little irritating.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time. At least he has just a 2-input transition back and forth between the hookshot and the hammer.
Yeah, when you don't mess it up, you know, I fumble fingers all the time trying to get that.
He's doing a pretty good job with it. But yeah, that early Swamp play would have sped up so much in this seed if one of our runners would have made it.
Yeah, having boots early is nice. I'm wondering if Maniacal's going to grab the Fire Rod or the bow first, because they have silver, so once they get the bow, the rest of the bosses that are vulnerable to it will be a piece of cake.
Now SailorJade is getting their boots. So I'd imagine that Maniacal will be picking up both items in some order here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Desert first and finishing that one off. But it looks like it's going to be Fire Rod first.
Yep.
Or he's checking the dig spot first and then getting the Fire Rod, which is also a pretty good choice.
Yep. You know, it is sometimes a little difficult to remember which fetch quest items you get if you've gotten something else big after that, like the boots.
Yeah, it definitely can be.
Because I definitely did. Because I definitely forgot that he got the shovel.
So picking up the Fire Rod now, and I'm sure the bow is shortly following this one. The runners are really neck and neck, except for the fact that SailorJade needs to remember the sick kid for the ice rod.
Probably when they're trying to figure out when they can go to Turtle Rock. They'll be thinking about the ice rod.
Yeah,
and where it could be.
What really could be a bad thing is if they gamble on ice rod being in T-Rock.
It's the worst.
And Slim Kirby pointing out that she'll have another opportunity when picking up the Fire Rod to go check Sick Kid.
The more opportunities to remember Sick Kid, the better.
Still very concerned that they've just completely forgotten.
Yeah, because unfortunately, already cleared out Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town, so even going back for Skull Woods maybe will trigger saying, hey, there's, another thing here that I haven't checked. So jealous of people who can do that. I don't know how to dash into doors and unlock them.
So the key dash, you have to be a multiple of 4 pixels away from the door when you start your dash. And the actual, the really nice thing is, because everything is in the blocks themselves are in multiples of 4, if you just push yourself up against the wall, start your dash, and then turn, you'll go right through.
Is that how it works?
Yep, that's how it works.
Okay, because I always bonk and I never figured out the trick on my own.
And it's similar in Agate Tower. If you are up against a chest, you'll also be multiple of 4 pixels away from the door, so you don't even have to line back up against the wall. Just be up against the chest, go left, and then dash up.
Nice. And Fire Rod with half magic makes this an easy fight.
Yeah, so he actually has a few options available. He could go and get the last item out of Skull Woods and that crystal. He could go back to Pod, or he hasn't been to Pod yet. He could go do Pod in Eastern. He just is looking for that cane and that Bombos medallion. But he can full clear every crystal, every other crystal that's available to him. So.
Ooh, finally a Nagina check.
Yep, and both of our runners are probably gonna high five here.
Just some cash.
So we'll see where Maniacal flutes to. This is a pretty obviously a good decision. It's a lot of items and 2 crystals. So he figures 2 items from Go mode. It's not likely that he's going. Well, he can't go mode at Skull Woods, so let's do this. Pod is full of items.
Yep, and I can full clear both of them. So.
What will be more interesting is if they don't actually find their go mode items in their crystal clears here. What will they check when they're doing cleanup first? That could actually be pretty important. And we do have the Pendant Dungeons of Mire and Ice Palace looming out there.
Mm-hmm. Those are definitely not fun pendant dungeons to do.
And SailorJade picked up the Fire Rod, but has not returned to Sick Kid.
It's always something that's looming in the minds of for commentators. Like, do they know that Sick Kid is even there? Do they remember? They just decided not to check yet because they still have so many other places open to them.
Yeah, they might not be back for a while, because I talk about going to do Skull Woods here, but with the Fighter's Sword, even if you have half magic and Fire Rod, it's probably not at the top of everybody's list next to all this other stuff. So, and that's very understandable. So hopefully when they do get around to fluting to 3, that will be their next opportunity.
There is also one more bottle left going, hey, bottles are actually used to open something. But yeah, Super Nintendo, I have also forgotten it requires Sick Kid. That's why every time I see a bottle, I'm like, don't forget Sick Kid.
I have not made the Sick Kid mistake, but I forgot an item on Desert Ledge that I saw, and it was a cane. I did completely forgot that it was there.
Yeah, because when you head out to Mire, it's the closest spot to get it. You don't actually see it. Unless you go check it specifically, it's hard to remember it.
Yeah. So SailorJade probably continuing on to the Land Molas now. Maniacal finishing up the get a bunch of small keys part of Pod.
Like I want to keep watching with Pod, but it's also like the first 6 chests are always keys or something like that.
Yeah, 4 of the first 6 have to be, and then quite often you get another one in there.
Now here's where we start seeing some good stuff usually. Oh, nope, just key. There's so many of them.
That will be the last key, though.
Yay. I actually don't know how many are in Pod.
We got red mail. That's a nice to have item.
And the same over on Jade's side. Not red mail. Fire Rod and half magic make Land Molas super easy. And another crystal down.
Not a whole lot of value unless you count that nice bug net.
Yep. But it is the one of the 5/6 crystals, so.
Yeah, so Pod is finishing up here. I think we have one more dungeon item and the last item. And that's what King Helmasaur is holding.
Mm-hmm. Jade, not remembering Sick Kid, it's unknown how long it'll take to catch up. Where is she going? Oh, shovel?
Yeah, I think they did what you said. Forgot about it right away, but remembered it before heading over to Pod.
Yep. It happens.
So I'd expect Maniacal to finish off this in Eastern, grabs 2 more crystals, and we'll see what King Helmasaur has. But after that, it's probably off to Skull Woods.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in the seed, the runners are probably thinking, "Man, I've cleared a lot. I've, done. I'm getting all these crystals, and I still have Fighter Sword, and still 2 items from Go Mode. I mean, the timer might say 116, but I feel like I've done a lot more than that."
Yeah. So, let's put another sword on Fat Berry. Maybe Kane as well.
Yeah, there could be a vanilla sword upgrade for the Fat Fairy.
And see if see who goes to it first. Because they both have access to it.
Yeah, I would expect our runners to do that before they start dipping independence, but I would think they'll get the 6th crystal out of Skull Woods prior to that. But honestly, if you're still at least 2 items from Go Mode and there's only 1 item in Skull Woods, there's really no value in going to Skull Woods first. So you might have an easier one if you get a sword upgrade there.
Yeah, definitely. It's 1 item, Skull Woods. I think they got everything in Eastern Palace, but there's more stuff in Pod. Definitely doing the Pod Eastern finish to just get those 2 crystals is much more attractive.
Yeah, Maniacal just got the 4th bottle off of King Helmasaur, so that wasn't the progression he was looking for.
Nope. And I'm going to assume when Jade gets that last bottle, immediately going to go to Eastern and might possibly forget the bottle.
Yeah, so they'll get a bottle and they'll be like, "Oh, maybe Sick Kid," but then maybe not because they have something else to do.
Yep.
But you're right. If they get a bottle right before fluting to 3, that if they do Eastern first, no, they're already in Pod. Never mind. They just got here, but yeah, that could be their last hope is getting this bottle and then ending up in Kakariko.
Yeah. Eventually, when Jay starts running out of spots, they'll probably go, "Oh yeah, where have I not checked?"
And yeah, Clifford is helping us out there in chat, but please follow our runners. They're putting on a great race for us today.
And also follow my fellow commentator. Correct.
And follow Flaffy and Slim Kirby, our tracker.
And Clifford, our restreamer. It takes a lot of us to put this together, but it makes it so much more fun.
Maniacal coming all the way over here, but forgetting to actually grab the key. He's ready to collect some crystals. I'm pretty sure I've seen almost every runner, including myself, walk into a big key door without the big key.
Oh yeah, it's definitely happened a lot. Which one's the worst to do it? Is it Pod?
Turtle Rock.
Is it Turtle Rock? Okay.
For me, it's Turtle Rock because you're like, oh, I'm in go mode, and then you forget that it's vanilla big key, and you skip it, and it's pretty embarrassing.
I saw one the other day that was they forgot the big key for Pod, and they went through the dark room without lamps, and they did so well.
Gosh.
And then they have to do it again.
That's awesome.
It's just like no.
Did they at least have the mirror, or else they would have to save and quit?
I think they had the mirror.
Or I guess if or bomb themselves to death, or if they didn't kill the turtles or something.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's like you get in go mode, you're like, man, I don't need anything. I'm just gonna go straight to the boss. I know the way to get there. I don't have anything in my way. And then you get to a big key door. Like, oh, right, this is the one that needs that. Because some of them don't. Mothula doesn't. Who doesn't? Mothula doesn't. If you do bomb jumps, Ice Palace doesn't.
Yep, that's correct.
Argus doesn't.
And Argus, right? Yep, that's it. So Maniacal gets his 5th crystal. Still looking for a couple of items, including a second sword.
Mm-hmm.
Does look like he's going straight for Mothula, though, to get crystal number 6 and one more item in here.
Could be what we're looking for.
It could be, and we haven't really talked about it too much here, but we are still possibly in a pedestal seed if Bombos happens to be there.
Yep, unfortunately. We haven't found book, so maybe book's on pedestal.
It could be. It could be. The paradox.
We definitely saw one of those the other day.
So we're to the point now where they need a second sword, they need Bombos, they need the cane, and they're only going to get one more item in a crystal dungeon. So they're going to have to do some searching here.
Yeah, they're gonna have to choose either Ice Palace or Meyer, whichever one. Because Ice Palace has got 3, but Meyer's got the green pendant, so it's 3 for 3.
So there are still some overworld things they can check that they haven't done yet. We've mentioned the Fat Fairy a couple times. I don't think either runner has been up to check King's Tomb or Bonk Rock since they got the boots, so that would be a good option.
Yeah, definitely when you get boots this late, you tend to forget them sometimes. They haven't forgot them for running around, it looks like, but sometimes you forget what they unlock, unless it's something you absolutely already know you need, like you can see like they saw the bow and the fire rod.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been a good time to go check that stuff, so Maniacal might just head there as soon as he's done with getting a 6th crystal here.
And for like another thing, if you have flute, sometimes you're almost like you're not saving and quitting as often, so you're not stopping over right at Sanctuary.
That is true. And SailorJade got their 4th crystal and about to get their 5th here in Eastern.
along with their 4th bottle. They had 2 free blue potions. That's pretty nice of the seed. And Maniacal doesn't look like they got the item, so the last item is the one right there. And usually you go kill Mothula first, because if Mothula has that last item, then there's no reason for you to go all the way around to do this. And it's exactly as quick to check it either way first.
Yep.
And there's nothing.
But unfortunately, just a red rupee this time, so we're still 3 items from real go mode. If you can find a sword along the way in Ganon's Tower, then 2, but you're hoping it doesn't come to that.
I think you're getting Pyramid Fairy, maybe?
Yeah, I think that would be the first check here. This is one of those odd seeds. Whenever you have 6 crystals, but you're still 3 items from go mode, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. And usually T-Rock's been pretty easy to open lately. But even so far in, we've still only got we've got 2 more items to get to open it. It's weird.
Yeah, and with that said, a sword in T-Rock could be a nice consolation prize. So I don't expect Maniacal to wait once he finds the 2 items he needs to get into T-Rock. However, if he doesn't find a sword in there, I would expect him just to go to Ganon's Tower and keep looking.
Because you might as well get all the way up to Aghanim. If you don't get a sword along the way, oh well, you can just leave the tower and figure out somewhere to go after that. And the red meringue is equally shunned by Maniacal. Oh! I called one thing, I think.
Yep, vanilla sword and double-chested fairy, so that's one of the items off the list, but we're still looking for that T-Rock access. And it looks like Ice Palace is the call. I think this is a good option.
Yeah, there's three items. You can grab them all. Technically, there's 3 in Mire, but that's only if you find the cane in there.
So the real question here is, if he finds all 3 items early, will he go ahead and kill Cold Stare, thinking that that Bombos might be locked on the pedestal that he can't even read?
Don't know. And having a pedestal seed after finishing 6 crystals would be just heartbreaking.
Especially since you got the ice rod like right away. Maniacal's making good use of both the boots and the hook shot. They definitely make it a lot easier to get around in here. SailorJade's just tearing through and gonna even up the crystal count pretty soon.
Yep. And then we'll see if Jade decides to go to Mire or Ice first. Ooh, nice save.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to get it, but just barely got it in time.
Sometimes, whenever I miss that pot, I forget I have a sword. And you can easily just slash it to get rid of it.
Yep, it's a good job.
Looks like Montila is being a little mean to Jade.
Yeah, but luckily we had 2 blue potions drop throughout the seed, so no big deal. Just use one of those free ones and get them down. And they do get the 6th crystal.
Probably go in to see what the last item is.
Yep, we're not sure if we're on a pedestal seed. The Bombos medallion could very easily be there.
Yeah.
We're still looking for the Bombos medallion, the Cane of Samaria, and we just got our 2nd sword with Maniacal. So that's it. Those 2 items, and we'll be in go mode.
And Jade finding the disappointment that is just 20 rupees. And just saving and quitting out. Oh, could we be seeing some Bonk Rocks in King's Tomb?
Yeah, this is a good check, and it's something that Maniacal has not done yet.
Yeah.
Maniacal gets his first item, and it's just a heart container.
Ooh, a fire shield.
So this is definitely a rare situation where we're still 2 items from go mode, and our runners have 6 crystals. It's just a matter of time before they find what they need, but how much time is what we don't know. There are still some spare overworld spots that haven't been checked yet, but it's just the 3 items and now 2 in Ice Palace and the 2 items in Misery Mire as far as dungeon items are concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jade does still need to pick up the rest rod. keep that in the back of your mind.
But they will be getting Quake here, which is looking more and more like Mire's required, so that's very good for them.
Uh-huh.
Maniacal's 2nd item in here was just a red rupee, so at most he'll get 1 item. And even though he hasn't checked the bonk spots by Sanctuary, we know that they will not help him out. So it's really looking like Mire is going to be the play one way or another.
It's beneficial for him if he forgets them.
Now the real question will be if he finds that last item, will he continue on to finish Cold Stare? Because Pedestal Seed is looking more and more likely as well. Oh, Tempered Sword. I'm sure he's happy to see it. But that's all 3 items, and neither are the ones he's looking for. But it does look like he isn't leaving, and we'll be continuing on to Cold Stare.
He is thinking it might be a pedestal seat.
And SailorJade's actually doing the Mire play.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, because we know Hurricane's not in ice, so it might be vanilla.
Vanilla is, I mean, there might be a location that we haven't seen that I'm not thinking of, but vanilla is seeming quite probable at this point. Unfortunately, Jade did not kill the Murder Dactyl and is using Quake, so taking a little bit of damage there.
Yeah. Well, if Book is in here, we still have the 2 pedestals as well.
It
not pedestals,
very well could
tablets.
be. Book could definitely lead to the items we're looking for.
Then Jade would have to find the Master Sword.
And Cold Stare goes down, collecting a pendant. And I would not be surprised to see Maniacal skip the Flanctuary and go right to Meyer.
Yeah. So I'm looking through.
And there it is, the vanilla cane. All right, so now we are still looking for one item. We're still looking for that Bombos medallion.
So it's either here or it might be on the pedestal.
Or Sir Hashila could have it too.
Yeah. Or they could find the book and it's on the tablets. But that's about it.
So Maniacal
Well,
is
actually-
checking the flanktuary.
Oh, I was gonna say actually, but I was gonna say maybe it's in T-Rock, but wait, we need to open T-Rock.
Yeah. And Maniacal is doing it through the Dark World here because he did not check the Graveyard Ledge.
It's nice to chain them together.
This will give SailorJade a chance to catch up, potentially. And unfortunately, SailorJade went into one of the trap rooms here.
Yeah. Meyer's one of those places you should go look at a map, see where everything leads to, because it's pretty confusing.
Yeah, this is a room that you definitely end up in the vanilla game, but in Rando, there's no reason to end up here. It's just a little bit out of the way to hit this crystal switch. You do get a small key up here.
I have definitely, my first bunch of runs, I definitely started seeing up here, and then eventually I learned Meyer.
Oh yeah, Meyer and Ice Palace, the first few seas I completed, it was not pretty.
Yeah. Then again, I get lost everywhere. I get lost in Thieves Town. I get lost in Skull Woods. Pretty much this game was confusing when I started. Still looking for that second item.
I mean, this does let SailorJade check the right side before even going to the left, so that it is an option, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not working out. So Maniacal, I don't think, has done Catfish yet, so he is just cleaning up some overworld stuff before heading to Meyer, I think.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't want to do Meyer without Samaria. If he thinks it's a pedestal seed.
Yeah, that's true. If his goal is to get the last pendant, well, he doesn't have the cane yet, so he wants to check these overworld spots before he dives in.
So yeah, this is definitely giving Jade some time to catch up.
And you never really believe something's vanilla until you see it for yourself, right?
Yeah. I think vanilla red cane is possibly the worst one. Maybe bow and pod.
Yeah, vanilla red cane is pretty bad because there's only 2 items in here, and just the whole sequence of fluting here and the screen transition to the Dark World, and then the animation to open up Meyer.
This one,
man, all that for 2 items.
He's checking the blacksmith. Unfortunately, Jade's already checked that, and there wasn't anything there. Oh,
and there it is.
Oh, there's Bombos. Wait, SailorJade is now in go mode. SailorJade has. Oh, wait, no. Ice Rod.
Right. So SailorJade needs to find the Ice Rod, and you know where the 2 swords are that Maniacal got, and maybe the Pyramid Fairy is a likely check for Jade at this point.
Yeah.
But they really need to find that Ice Rod more than anything else.
Oh no. It looks like Jade's going straight to T-Rock. That looks like T-Rock preparation. Oh, wait. Ice Palace? Thinking the ice rod's in there.
So this would be good for getting another sword. Or
I hadn't checked Halia Island or Hobo, so. Ooh. Please remember Sick Kid.
so if SailorJade remembers Sick Kid, then I would say they have a little bit of a lead, but they really need to find another sword. Maniacal is eventually going to get to Meyer.
Yeah.
In fact, this might be his last overworld that he can do right here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the pup. Ice Rod is a Sick Kid, and Jade has forgotten. Has all 4 bottles and has forgotten Sick Kid. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Super Ninja Taylor says, hope Maniacal doesn't go straight to the boss after Red Cane.
So that would cause him to lose time, but the good news is he would probably leave, go pull the pedestal and not get anything, go to Sarhashala and not get anything, and then come back. So it would lose him some time, but it wouldn't be the end of the world, I don't think.
Yeah.
And at the very least, SailorJade will get a second sword in here.
Which, considering the other one was on Fat Fairy, then we don't know where the last one is. And they may not get it.
And unfortunately for SailorJade, they might be thinking that the ice rod is on the pedestal and finish this off. Although they did leave Meyer, so maybe that's less likely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the race is over. At any point, Jade could remember Sick Kid, and if they do, and Maniacal, we'll see what Maniacal does here after getting the cane, but they could head straight for the boss.
Once they get, because depending on the routing, they could get the big key first.
Yeah, the big key is over here in the next chest, so we know he's thinking pedestal, and if he can go straight to the boss now, he might just do that.
Yeah. And that would slow him down a lot. What you thinking?
I think he got a little excited about the cane and got confused about what he wanted to do.
That has definitely happened to me before.
Absolutely.
I was in ice, and I grabbed the hammer, and then I left ice instead of finishing it.
I have definitely done the get the flute and think you're in go mode, and then realize, oh, I don't know if I have the right medallions. So it does look like he will find Bombos.
Yep. So this is a race against the clock, whether SailorJade remembers a Sick Kid or not.
He's selecting to check the right side chest before checking the vanilla big key location.
Yeah, because if you can avoid it, it's such a long transition.
Yeah, when you're one item from go mode, I totally agree with this, but it's just not going to work out for him this time.
Yeah, the Vanilla Bikini location has just been holding so many good items. I've seen the ice rod, or not, sorry, the fire rod there like 3 times. It's just not nice.
Yeah, fire rod definitely likes to be there nowadays. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it definitely shows up there a lot.
Likes making me do the long fire puzzle.
Needs to watch his health here. Coming back into that room with the tiles going can be a little rough.
Yeah, because they almost always hit you.
Using one of those nice blue potions they picked up along the way.
Yeah, they haven't had much of haven't had much reason to use them yet so far, so it's nice.
So we're almost there. We're almost ready for that go mode. And after this little bit of trolley of a seed, I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that bombos.
Yep.
And there we have it. Maniacal is in go mode.
With only T-Rock left, and then straight to Ganon.
Yeah, so outside of a few chests in T-Rock, if he can skip them, he'll have opened every chest in every dungeon.
Yep.
So this is a very old-fashioned type of seed. You get all your items for T-Rock last, and then you're heading there last before GT.
Yep. Lately, it's T-Rock's either been an early chimp or a pendant. Still want to know what was on a pedestal. It's probably nothing, but it could be something.
Maybe the Force Sword.
Let's see, the exciting things it could be that we have left are Powder, Verna, and Book. Or the Force Sword.
So where do you think the big key is going to be in Turtle Rock?
Mimic Cave.
That would be a trick.
Yeah. I don't know. Vanilla?
Yeah, I'm going for vanilla too.
Because sometimes people forget to check that chest if they're in go mode. Like,
Yep.
I did.
It definitely happens. You steal the key, you think your key setup is great. Oh, I have an extra key. We're going to get through this really quick. And then you run into the door.
It's like, oh no. So, I usually, oh no.
And yeah, Kirby is pointing out in the chat, oh, it looked like she was going to gamble, but it looks like she's checking the pyramid. So she will get a sword. But, well, maybe not the pyramid. Or the Fat Fairy at the pyramid.
What's going on?
Yeah.
The middle sewers. Did you even pick that?
Oh, yep.
I know that has burned me before. If anyone saw my qualifier. Literally the last chest I checked in, it was the silvers.
So I'm a little bit concerned though, because the fact that she came back here all the way for the sewer chest but hasn't checked the Fat Fairy makes me think that they may have forgotten about that one too.
Yeah. That's another thing. If you've got so many items, for some reason, to me at least, it doesn't seem like Fat Fairy would have anything useful. I don't know why it is. But now I think we're seeing Fat Fairy.
Yep, I think we are. So at least we'll get to Tempered Sword, but I still think that we're going to see the T-Rock gamble.
Yeah, they're definitely checking everything they can before they go up to T-Rock. I just really hope Jade remembers Sick Kid.
I mean, the real question will be if they make it to the end of the laser bridge without the fire rod, what will it jog anything for them?
Or the ice rod. Yeah.
Or yeah, without the ice rod.
Hey, I was right.
Vanilla Big Key and Maniacal remembered, so good on him.
Yep, Bash. Sick Kid has Ice Rod, and SailorJade has not picked it up. It's just, oh, you hate seeing people forget an item, a location.
So now we have Tempered Sword and the Boomerang, but yep, I think we're going to see a Mountain Cave start here.
Ooh. Oh no. Oh no.
And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Happens to every rando runner. You just completely forget a location. You think you checked it. Actually, I was watching my VOD from my first tournament race, and it didn't have anything, but I completely skipped the South of Grove. Or actually, it was my second race. I didn't even know it, but I did.
Uh-huh. There's definitely that one item, that one location that eventually there's something you'll forget there. I don't know if like forgetting what would be worse, forgetting single locations or miscounting a dungeon and thinking you had everything and stop checking.
I don't know if one's worse than the other. I think both of them are just you're not going to find that item unless you recheck everything.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably start rechecking the single locations first, so before diving back into a dungeon.
But then you might not remember which ones you forgot. I say this because I've miscounted Meyer once and forgot the hammer. This is before I knew anything about how many stuff were in chests.
So Michael's lining up for some laser skips here.
Oof.
Almost had it, but didn't break off his dash soon enough there.
It's pretty hard to do. Oh, and you got a full heal for it. Nice.
And there's our book.
Nice. And there's the key you were looking for. And nope, don't even want the last item.
Kirby pointing out that we might end up getting our pedestal check after SailorJade ends up with the book on the laser bridge.
Ooh. Because after book, gonna have both tablets and pedestal, so that's more stuff that's gonna lead them astray.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough because they'll get that and be like, okay, this is a troll. I'm gonna go check either tablet, and then nope. And go check Bombos, and nope, and then check the pedestal, and again, it's just not going to work out for him. And Maniacal's wrapping up the Trinex fight here for his 7th crystal. And it's a very clean fight. So with that done, Maniacal has his crystal number 7, and it's right here next to Ganon's tower. We like to play a little game. In what chest out of the first 22 locations is the big key going to be?
And if you say tile room, you'll make me very sad because it's very not nice. And the first thing said was tile room.
The very first thing.
Oh, you guys are so mean. There's the fairy. I didn't notice what it was the first time.
We have a couple Bob chests. We have definitely a couple tile rooms and 22. So I'm the pup. Bob is the glitched anti-fairy that is right by the 14th chest. If you do not bonk the item off of the torch, the anti-fairy is in this weird glitch state.
Yeah, its sprite is just a little weird, and no can do on the right side. Wow. Ooh, mirror shield, and Bob's dead.
Yep, Bob's dead.
Why would you kill Bob for the mirror shield? It makes mimics easier, I guess.
Yep, that's about it. It makes the mimics a little bit easier.
There is actually a mode that has the keys randomized. It is called Key Sanity.
Yeah, it's not officially released yet, but it seems pretty interesting.
I guess technically with that, Ganon Tower Big Key could be on pedestal.
Absolutely.
I didn't know it wasn't released.
Yeah, they're still testing, and there's definitely some seeds that are floating around out there.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, people hand them out, and but it's still not officially in the release yet.
Okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, though. It just opens up so many possibilities.
Oh, that sounds so mean, though.
Now, my question is, will it still work with entrance randomizer? Because that would just be awesome.
Ooh. There it is. In the fire snake room.
Yep, fire snake room. That is a nice early-ish big key. I'd imagine to make the Key Sanity compatible with entrance randomizer would take LL Cool Dave some time to actually think through all the different stuff that would happen.
Yeah. Here's one of the 2 reasons to have a mirror shield.
Yep. And he did actually make use of it there for one of those hits, so works. And again. So Maniacal's making his way up against Tower, and SailorJade is getting the last few item locations in Turtle Rock. So
and fixing to think they're being trolled to leading towards both locations. And now we start the gauntlet on Maniacal side.
those stall childs are really trolling him. All right, so we now get to see what SailorJade is going to do. And from their perspective, like, okay, this is a trolley seed. I got to leave with the book to go find the, go find the ice rod. Well, we're going to have our pedestal check, everybody.
Pedestal check first.
Man, it's probably just a little bit of love, but it'd be fun if it was something exciting.
Yeah. Because we already found Verna as well, so the only thing it could be so far is powder.
Powder or a better copy of your sword for your time.
Oh no. If it's powder, Jade might think
God.
it leads to Bombos. Not Bombos, Ice Rod.
Oh, please no powder.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so I expect Jade to check the Ether tablet and Bombo's tablet and then be really confused.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of those will be the powder, and then we'll see that. I would actually expect them to go kill Vitreous to get the green pendant.
Yeah. No check for butter.
Nope, I think Maniacal he's looking at the time. He's like, I've been on the seat a long time. I'm almost to the end. Let's finish this off.
Oh, there it is.
It is the powder. Ice Rod was that sick kid, unfortunately, and Jade missed it.
Just one of those locations. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh no. Dang it. Oh, no. I was hoping as you're dashing by to think of it.
Man. Going right by the sick kid.
It hurts.
This was the opportunity.
It hurts so bad.
That was a chance.
Dash back over there, please. No, don't get your flute out yet.
Triple there from Maniacal. Very nice.
Ooh, I didn't see that. Oh, nice! Double triple! Wow!
Nice Aga fight.
Alright, getting it to get Gan's lair at 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 7 seconds. I don't know why I noted that.
So it looks like we're getting an Ether tablet check, and then I fully expect the dip back into Mire.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. If dashing past the sick kid didn't jog their memory, then it'll take just combing over everything to remember, I think. I don't know if it'll be a forfeit, though. All the teleports.
They're really thinking about this hard now. Maybe they're thinking they did skip something and not. It's not the green pendant.
Yeah.
But Maniacal's coming up on phase 4 here, just 4 silver arrows away from taking down this match.
Yep.
One more.
And Ganon is dead.
And that's a GG for Maniacal.
Finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 59 seconds. And it looks like SailorJade has decided to take the plunge and go kill Vitreous to get the green pendant.
And it does look like we will have Maniacal joining us for an interview as soon as he takes a quick break. I completely understand after that seed needing to step away for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of our runners played a good race, so this is a good opportunity to remind you to please follow our runners. They put on a great show for us today. Follow our tracker, Slim Kirby. Follow my co-commentator, Flaffykins.
Follow my co-commentator, Korik. And follow Clifford, our restreamer.
So SailorJade's making their way down to Vitreous.
With all the equipment they have, should be an easy fight, an easy kill. And just head off to Hospital after that. Hello.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, GG.
Oh, thank you. I was sweating it out there after I dipped Ice Palace and blanked, and then went 2 for 2 on my Go mode items in Pendant Mire. I was not in a great place.
Yeah,
but
having 6 crystals, then having to search for multiple Go mode items doesn't come up every day.
Yeah, I was feeling okay, but like I got to Hype Cave really, really late because of the way I chose to route the early like opening salvo from the game. And so I felt really behind the whole run. And then when I hit those items in Mire, I was just like watching for the dot done. But how are things going for SailorJade?
SailorJade did actually check Hype Cave immediately after Dark World access. However,
I'd seen SailorJade do that in a previous race, which is why I was really nervous by the time I got to that location.
Unfortunately, SailorJade has forgotten about Sick Kid, which was where the ice rod was.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks. That is... Oh, that feels so bad. Thoughts to SailorJade, please go talk to the Sick Kid.
Making amazing time, though. Just killed Vitreous to get the green pendant to very last check for Sahasrara, so
Okay.
hopefully the very last item they can check is a sick kid. Hopefully they remember it.
Okay. Has SailorJade been all the way through Turtle Rock up to Trinex and then just dipped out?
Yep.
Yep, and then check the tablets with the book.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, oh wow. That is rough. I've had that happen.
It hurts.
Yeah, that hurts so bad. That doesn't feel good ever. But I was happy with some of how the things went in that run, but just the decisions weren't paying off over and over again. that first sword being all the way up on the mirror ledge, or not the mirror ledge, the floating island, just like got me good.
Yeah, and then as soon as you got the Titan Smiths, you went up and grabbed it right away.
Yeah, because I knew that I needed to get there. And actually, once the lower part of Lightworld Death Mountain came up blank, I knew that the mirror was required to get any of that access to any of the good stuff. And so I wasn't feeling too bad because the mirror was all the way over in Skullwoods, and I'd gone there pretty early. So I figured I couldn't have lost as much time as I felt like if it had turned out that like the progression was in the first part, like by the old man or something. But I still did not feel like I was ahead at any point in that run. I'm going to have to definitely watch it back and see if I was behind and then like just being derailed by Ice Rod really did SailorJade in, or...
So you both ended up in Swamp Palace at the same time, and at that point, that's where you started to take a small lead. You entered a little bit earlier than they did.
Okay. Yeah, how was the routing? That's always what I'm really, really curious about, is just to see sort of what meta decisions players are making and like what they're doing with the information at hand.
Yeah, up until Swamp Palace, you took completely different routes. You guys were all over the place compared to one another.
Since SailorJade went to Hype Cave, having the hookshot mitts and flippers led a completely different direction than you did.
Yeah, that's fair, because I really did like a full sweep of the Dark World, then came back and did the Lightworld Death Mountain, and then had to basically go and immediately go back once I got the hook shot and do the Dark Death Mountain stuff and do my pendant check, or my medallion checks. And so, yeah, there was a lot of empty time. I was sure when Kane was in that first chest in Mire that I was going to get burnt by the exact same chest and lose to it twice. Because in my last race, I put off checking that exact location, unable to do anything in Mire, in Pendant Mire, and my Go Mode boots were there.
Ooh.
And so that location has been really a thorn in my side lately.
I'm just about locations like that.
Yeah, Pendant Mire is not a thing I am fond of. And so maybe I should have gone there before Pendant Ice Palace. And then once I was in Ice Palace, I was just like, yeah, I'm going to commit to, in case it's Pedestal, because I couldn't check Pedestal because no book. And with 2 items still outstanding to really even get into Turtle Rock, I was just running out of places where they could be. And so I felt like the play that maybe it was a pedestal seed was fairly live, like probably like an 8%er or so, but not going back through Ice Palace after it came up so empty felt like the way to lock it in. I don't know, maybe it was just a terrible decision all around. It didn't work out, that's for sure.
I mean, at that point, it seemed like a really good decision to me. You had just a couple items left, and one of them being the pedestal where Bombos could very easily have been.
Yeah, that was what I was worrying about. Was like, if Bombos is the pedestal, I'll qualifier 3 or whatever it was, the one that derailed me and made sure that I was not going to be participating in the main tournament. I got a lot of flashbacks during this run, I'll say. But yeah, I'm overall happy enough with the run. It was really, really empty early on. It felt like if SailorJade had just made, savant calls, that I could have just been so far behind. But of course, I mean, Randomizer and 216 items, so it's very unlikely for someone to make like absolute nuts calls. But you always fear that your opponent is doing just that when you finally get to the location. So I don't know, maybe it was an irrational fear, but I'm hoping that SailorJade has found the ice rod at this point. I'm not over in the Randomizer Mania channel.
No, they're still looking at the map, figuring out where they missed.
Yeah, there was a very long staring at the map, but they are moving. We're not sure where.
Okay, well, I'm going to mute myself real quick to bring up the Randomizer Mania stream just so that I can check it out a little too.
Okay.
And then I'll be right back. I just want to make sure I don't, audio you all with stream audio.
So it looks like SailorJade is double-checking Desert, not trusting whether they found both items here. The bow was one of the items, but not sure if they found the other one, so let's see.
Yeah, I don't remember if Jay checked the big chest.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
Oh, yep. I don't know if Jade uses a map checker.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm fairly certain that if they do, the sick kid's already checked off on it.
Yeah.
So they're just staring at their menu screen in that flute.
Yeah, I see that now, although
Yeah, it's a lot of
with the stream delay.
Yeah, it's a lot of internal. What did I do wrong? Where I missed? What is going on? Did I accidentally? I know it's not broken because my opponent got done.
Yeah, I've been there so many times. This I just recently picked up Randomizer, and so I've been really, really grinding at it. And I just remember those first couple weeks having a bunch of seeds that went like this, where I'd be so close, and then I would just have tracked something wrong, or I'm curious where SailorJade's going now. But looks like, yeah, I guess unsurprisingly, with a few locations left, that they've found all of the items, basically. I was curious if I'd missed a sword somewhere. Well, I obviously missed a sword somewhere, but I was curious where it might have been.
It's probably somewhere in Ganon's Tower, because it's nowhere in the Overworld.
Yeah, we found most everything outside of Ganon's Tower, so...
Yeah.
I guess it could have been the first chest. Oh no, SailorJade checked the first chest on the Laser Bridge, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the one item in Turtle Rock I didn't find, and I didn't check Mimic Cave. So it has to be in Ganon's Tower somewhere. Or it could be on Pedestal. Or
that was Couch Cache.
Okay, or the green pendant item. were the other things that I didn't see.
Also couch cash.
Oh my gosh. So yep, GT it is for the sword. Jade and I were talking in Discord earlier, and basically saying, let's not have a seed with no sword for an hour, and then of course we get this monstrosity. But it wasn't too bad of a seed. It really wasn't. That Pendant Mire really is the biggest complaint, but there's always going to be something that's worse than everything else in the seed.
Yeah, you guys did great for not having the sword early.
Yeah, I hadn't done Hammer Blind, but I felt okay because I had that red potion. I hadn't done I hadn't done a lot of the hammer strat stuff that I had to do early on, just because I've probably done. Actually, if Live Split's right, this is my 42nd of these, so shoutouts to 42. But yeah, I see. Looking at Ice Palace, this is. Come on, go to Sick Kid. Yeah, I know chat's probably been sending thoughts to SailorJade about Sick Kid for the past half hour, but please remember Sick Kid.
Pretty much since you picked it up, anytime she pick up a bottle, we're like, go to Sick Kid. Remember Sick Kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anytime they went to 3, it's like, come on, you're right there.
She went to go turn in powder, and I was just like, yes, you're going there. Yeah, oh wait, you're going to that.
Powder. Oh yeah, I never got back to Batcave.
Powder was on a Bombos tablet.
Okay. Yeah, going through Turtle Rock, I was not feeling too happy about not having any powder. And same with Ganon's Tower, I was watching my health. And then I got that super, super clutch fairy drop in the first Wizrobe room.
Yeah, that was nice.
That felt so good. I was just like, all right, let's go. And then I screwed up Landmo 2 anyway, because reasons.
I don't think Jade missed anything in Ice Palace. Or...
Yeah, Ice Palace, by virtue of where the items were, you pretty much had to, go kind of the whole way around it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just because this was a late check, they're thinking, oh, it must be something I just missed when I was coming through here.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that being, a thing that happens, especially because there's that one really out-of-the-way chest. If I remember right, and it was either the big key or the compass in this one.
The 2 jelly key?
Yeah, the 2 jelly.
Not key, chest.
Yeah, the 2 jelly chest. I don't like that one too much. It feels really out of the way I route the dungeon.
I think it's really out of the way no matter how you route the dungeon.
Yeah, that seemed to be the consensus, was every time I complain about it, my chat's like, yeah, everyone just hates that. Everyone hates this chest. But again, like, I just don't have all the reps that a lot of the folks playing this do. And so I still get really confused by stuff like that, and still the disappointment in the location of how out of the way that chest is fresh for me yet.
Yeah. I know, I've watched so many races, and I watched the really good players play, and I try to replicate it, but sometimes it just doesn't work. When you don't know it yourself.
Yeah, they're... Despite how linear Ice Palace can be, there are so many different contingencies for how you want to route it based on what you've found so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen a couple different strategies even recently kind of come into favor. That like people are evolving on Ice Palace, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, like a bomb jump in this room.
Exactly. I'm really bad at this bomb jump, by the way, so I don't want to do it.
Is it hard? I haven't attempted it yet.
I've not had any luck with it. That's what I'll say.
So basically, you just have to be on the bottommost pixel without falling off. It's a 1 pixel thing, but it's not too bad as long as you can get it lined up.
There it is. Correct with the actual knowledge.
A lot of people do it like facing up and down, but if you do it that way, you have to place the bomb and then slide to the right. But if you just do left, right, put the bomb to your left, it'll just hit you on the angle across, and it's just as easy.
Okay, so facing left, and then set it up that you're on the bottom pixel you can stand on. That is some useful knowledge. Now I feel like I'm actually empowered to go and attempt that next time it comes up. Thankfully, had boots, had hookshot by the time I got in here, so...
SailorJade deciding where to go.
Yeah, I think at this point we've verified that Ice Palace is cleared, so... Just hoping that SailorJade remembers Overworld.
Ooh, stopped on the net. Maybe remember the bug kid.
Okay.
Oh, no. It's just an accident on the way to flute.
Fluting to...
Oh, we picked three.
Okay, I haven't seen 3 yet.
No! Oh,
Wait. We're still on 2. This, with the stream delay, I'm dealing
Oh
with
my
this
god.
great.
Yes!
It's happening.
It's happening!
Yes! Yes!
She's gonna bomb him.
Is that poor sick kid getting bombed? Because he should be.
He's really getting bombed.
Oh my gosh, that is... He's given me at least 3 bombs a few times before, so I think he had it coming.
So, it looks like Clifford is on top of it, but now SailorJade is officially in go mode.
Awesome.
You just have to get to Trinex and then up the tower. And Ganon's big key wasn't even in a super terrible spot.
No, the big key was really, really generous. I actually hadn't seen the big key be there, I think ever, actually. For whatever reason, like, small sample space, just haven't rounded out the averages and happened across that one yet, but it was a nice location.
Didn't even lead you to the right side with the key on the right. So it led you straight over to the left. It's always nice when Ganon's big key is not in a super terrible spot. I've seen a bunch of them where they're in the first 2 chests.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those lately. And then I've also had, multiple tile rooms, so it really does even out.
It does.
It's just because you're so time invested and tile room feels so terrible as you watch your timer go up when you're like, hey, maybe I'll have sub 2, and then you're looking at 2:08 all of a sudden because of tile room.
Yeah.
Where you just feel it so much more. But now I'm curious. Oh yeah. We have to go kill Trinex. That's
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing that SailorJade was trying to do.
Yep. was ready to go there already. Just
Yeah.
needed to find the ice rod, and hopefully it was into your rock, and then it wasn't.
Yeah,
Just
but
to
all the doors
follow
are
up.
open, all the keys are found.
Yeah, to follow up with chat question, Kane of Berna was in Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
I think it was in the bonk room or whatever it is with the 4 chests, like on the left side.
And then Mirror Shield was on the torch.
Yeah, I took the mirror shield just for the like the lasers and the mimics, and then I executed those rooms slightly differently than I would have otherwise, by virtue of having the laser shield, and it didn't go great.
I don't know.
But at least you had the shield.
Yeah, I had the shield, and I feel like the shield, in addition to costing me like the bonk plus the fanfare, also cost me execution time, where I just did worse than I would have if I just committed to just dodging the lasers.
Yeah, butter definitely has to be somewhere in Ganon's Tower. Because SailorJade has checked everything else. Ooh, going in the tracks a little low.
Yeah, thankfully, all the bottles were pretty in the way this run, so lots of opportunity for blue potion.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the 2 of them came pre-filled with your blue potion.
Yeah, that felt really nice, actually. Ooh. I'm seeing this fight on a delay, but
And Trunks is down.
And with that, SailorJade picks up their 7th crystal. With a lot of frustration slashes onto Trinex.
yeah, Ice Rod, I was happy to see it early, even before I knew whether Turtle Rock was required, just because if it is, that item can just troll you so hard.
I think the difficulty for these races is normal rather than easy, right?
Yep, that's correct. These are normal on the randomizer.
What's the difference between easy and normal?
So this is off the top of my head, but I think easy has, in the progression, there are like twice as many places you can get the sword. So you can get to Butter Sword a lot easier. You have a progression to quarter magic. I think it's the mails and the shields too, so you can just get better items earlier.
So stuff that'll help you stay alive if you're bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then once you've exhausted those, it just turns them all into red rupees.
Oh, okay. And quarter magic, man, I miss quarter magic.
Quarter magic feels pretty great.
By the time I started playing Quarter Magic, not by the time by the time I started playing Rando, Quarter Magic had already been taken out of normal.
Yeah, I did one randomizer back in like July during the GDQ because one of my buddies had come into town. He actually is doing the main tournament for this, and he was like, "Hey, I'll teach you randomizer." And so I did like one back in July, and so I got Quarter Magic exactly once.
And even back then, it was like only a chance for it to be quarter.
I think he told me it was 50-50.
Oh, okay. Like I said, I hadn't played one with it. Excuse my squeaky chair.
It's still in the standalone entrance randomizer that is still being used. So if I'm playing one of those seeds, you can still get it every once in a while.
Cool.
SailorJade just about to get that big key and start their climb.
Plenty of hearts, plenty of equipment, plenty of safeties, I think.
So while SailorJade makes their way up Ganon's Tower, first of all, a reminder, please follow our runners. They put on a great show for us today. Also, there is just a ton of great randomizer action coming up for you this week. We had one match in the main tournament tonight, and tomorrow there are actually 8 matches currently scheduled. Restream channels aren't set yet, but I'm sure you tune in to Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the evening Eastern time tomorrow, and you will see all sorts of races going on. Also in the secondary tournament, there are several races that have verified restreamers here on either Randomizer Mania 1, 2, 3, or 4. There's one at 9 p.m. and there's actually 2 at 9 p.m., including Adirondack Rick. So channels aren't set yet, but just tune in.
Yep. And still haven't gotten who's the commentary for them either, so it's gonna be exciting to see whose voices you're gonna be hearing.
Sorry, I had to step away there for a second.
It's fine. Jade's just making their way through Gauntlet.
Looks like Jade just finished up my least favorite room in Gauntlet. It didn't go well this time either.
I think my least favorite is the one with the two blue things, lizard dudes. I don't know what they are. Are those Los Alphos?
Oh, that might be what they are. They always look
I
like
don't know.
horses to me.
Oh, do they? They look kind of
Yeah.
lizard to me.
Like in the same flavor as like the Link's Awakening horse heads. But
That's what I always think.
I don't know what they were supposed to be. I've heard folks say lizards. I was also so happy to see Half Magic so early in this seed.
It's always nice to see it.
Yeah. Just as like a quality of life item. It's one of my favorites.
You guys had the early mail and the Half Magic right away, so that was really nice.
Yeah, I don't think I took any unintentional deaths throughout, just on the basis of like already having so much in terms of like luxury survivability items.
Mm-hmm.
So that felt nice after the previous race where I died a bunch to Mothula.
Did you die on Laser Bridge? That one's always like a given that you die there though, if you don't have stuff.
I don't think I did actually. I screwed up the skips. I think I may have bottled once, but I think there was a heart piece that gave me a full refill or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was.
But yeah,
so you used to see people die there.
Yeah, I was planning on dying there. I bombed my way to the outside. Because my health wasn't in great sorts by the time I got there. So jealous of this powder.
Jada is not having any of Moldorm's crap. Doesn't want to fall.
Cape Strats.
Screw this guy. He was... I had so much trouble with this Moldorm 2 fight. I don't know if I got myself with nerves or what, but... Oh, and thank you to Slim Kirby in the chat for the Aga 2 double triple.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Really impressive.
That was the first time I'd gotten a double triple, so I'm pretty happy about it. I've gotten a bunch of like triple into 3 rounds, but I was pretty hyped to finally nail one, and to do it in a race felt pretty good.
I'm pretty sure a bunch of people, like even the guys over in Maine, probably haven't got triples or double triples before.
I'm honestly not sure if I have.
I've gotten like 1 triple once.
Yeah. I've gotten, I think, like the faux double triple where 2 of the particles hit at the same time one time, and like it felt kind of like getting robbed.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, could I have not gotten that double triple one time? But I did finally nail it tonight, so that felt good.
And SailorJade's heading into the Ganon fight. And with all these frustration bonks, make sure to get your bonk guesses ready.
Give me 42 bonks.
We kind of got him a little late-ish. So I'm going to go 38.
I don't know. With all this frustration, it's going to be tough. But the late boots,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. I'll go with 45.
I didn't see what my bonk count was, but I definitely put a few frustration bonks out there. Padded the stats a little.
Yeah, I know in my last race, I got Bert's boots super easy. Cannot speak early, and I was bonking left and right because how scared I was, and I only ended up with 47 bonks.
Yeah, I guess the nice thing about late boots is that you end up with a lot of blank movement time, because I manually track things on stream, so on like a tracker. So shout outs and big thanks to Cross Product for the Swell tracker.
Yeah, have you updated it yet?
I have not. I know what the changes are. I'm using the same one that I downloaded back when it was V18. I just haven't updated it. I should probably bother to do that, huh?
You only updated it a couple days ago.
Oh, cool.
I just someone mentioned it on the Discord. Ooh, nice double. Ooh, and unfortunately gets hit by the fire bat, so needs one more round. And their game is dead.
And that's a GG for SailorJade, finishing in second place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 27 seconds.
GG, SailorJade. Oh, awesome. I see SailorJade is agreeing to come chat.
That's good.
Yep, so they'll be
what I was sticking around for.
Soon. GG, SailorJade.
GG.
Yeah,
Props for sticking it out.
Yes, GG, SailorJade.
It's always tough when you forget that, that one item location.
GG, SailorJade.
Disappears from your mind.
Yep, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I've gotten a lot of bottles this game.
Yeah, every time you got a bottle, we're like, oh, you got a bottle. Remember.
Yeah, and Flaffy just about lost it when you got the powder and went to check the back cave and ran right by it.
Oh.
I literally forgot all about it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I obviously, didn't see until after the fact, but that is just rough. I felt so bad about the basically for me it was my 2 go mode items were in Mire because I needed Bombos and Kane to get into T-Rock. And so when that location turned up again for me, I was sure I was done in, but the Ice Rod was just trolling.
Yeah, I remember going into Mire, I don't remember what time, and finding the cane. I was like, all right, this was a good gamble. And then I was kept thinking for sure, okay, Ice Rod's either going to be an Ice Palace or it'll be Trolley and Turtle Rock. And then I got the book and it threw me completely off.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You did, Jade, you did actually get, you did go into Mire first and get the 2 technical go mode items first.
Yeah, I had done quite literally everything else. I was left with basically 3 options at one point fairly late, where I could do Pendant Ice, I could go do the North Dark World stuff over to Catfish, and I could do like the Lumberjack loop down and then end up kind of over toward Mire. Not that I wasn't going to flute to Mire anyway, but I kind of wanted to put all those together, and I did the other options first because I didn't want to go into Mire with 2 items there and needing exactly 2 things for go mode. So of course there they were.
I don't know. I still had a win moment even if I lost this race because I've never done blind on 6 hearts before, and that was my proud moment of the race.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
You definitely did great there.
Yeah, I put off going into Thieves Town a little bit, but it was my first time doing Hammer Blind, so I was also pretty hype.
I feel like I keep doing it more and more for some reason now.
You both definitely did very well for Hammer Blind.
Yeah, the third phase got a little bit sloppy. I took a couple extra hits there, but the only reason I was really willing to go and do it with as few hearts, I think I had 7 at the time, was that red potion we'd picked up.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's just I felt pushed that way upon getting the hammer and then going into Hype Cave, which was actually really hype.
Yeah, and I knew you, from previous races I'd seen, would go to the Hype Cave basically right away on Dark World access, and I thought about doing it, and then I said, no, it's kind of a low-value location, I'll put it off, and so I did everything else before finding my way over to Hype Cave. I actually went, did Skull Woods, did, everything down through, the digging game, went over, checked the Stump Kid, then quit out. I think I did Light World Death Mountain, went through Hera, and then went back and saved and quit, or flew to Link's house and went and got Hype Cave after all of that. So I was super late to that location, and I was just like, oh gosh, SailorJade has had all of these things for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yep, and that's how it ended up.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check the VOD and see, and see where we diverged. Korek and Flaffy have kind of clued me in on a couple things that happened throughout the run, but I think it'll be really interesting to watch it back and see, if it was just Sick Kid or if I was somewhere near competitive otherwise, despite the, disastrous routing.
I don't know. It looks like, according to Tracker, we did all the same dungeons, except I went back and cleared Mire. So we were probably close until I went on my world tour.
Yeah. You got into Turtle Rock, so you had to do Turtle Rock twice, which always is no fun. But I mean, if you had been in Mire earlier than me, which, as it turns out, you were, and then just needed Ice Rod, I like diving Turtle Rock there. I've had so many Turtle Rock Ice Rods because there's 6 locations there at that point.
Yeah, I stopped and did Ice Palace before I went into Turtle Rock the first time, just because I keep seeing stuff turn up in that.
Exactly, and then Ice Palace was completely blank. It felt really bad. And so I don't know if I was pot committed or something and then continued to make a bad bet, or if I honestly felt like Bombos or really just Bombos might be on the pedestal and I couldn't check. So I went through and I did Red Pendant on my first trip because I just really didn't want to go back through Ice Palace a second time. Yeah, I guess, Slim Kirby, Ice Palace did have the Tempered Sword, which, honestly, mastered a Tempered Sword. I found myself thinking, what are the chances that Master Sword to Tempered Sword makes up for the amount of time I sunk into Ice Palace? And I decided pretty close to 0, but that it wasn't completely lopsided.
Yeah, I know it helped me catch up my first race, so I wasn't complaining about it.
All right. And only 31 bonks. Not bad for how many frustration bonks you had.
Yeah, it's pretty low bonk count.
Like I said, you guys
I've been trying to get better on it.
But yeah, GG, SailorJade, and good luck. You have that rematch, that super hype rematch coming up.
Yeah.
And do you have any more games left in the group stage? I don't remember.
Tomorrow against I Have No Name.
Oh, yeah. Well, good luck in that and in your rematch against Tater.
Thanks, and for any future matches of yours.
Thank you. I still have to play Mafia Guido and Tater, so I'll have to see. I picked up that game 1 loss to I Have No Name, so that Meyer Bridge location where Kane was boots in the first race, and it sunk me pretty good. So I'll have to keep my fingers crossed and try my best.
Okay, with that said, thank you both SailorJade and Maniacal42 for the great race and the great interview. Please follow our runners, follow our tracker Slim Kirby, follow my co-commentator Flaffykins, and thank you for joining us for this amazing race. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you to Korek and Flaffy for the commentary. And also specific shout-outs to Clifford for the restream. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, good job, Clifford. And thank you guys for the race.
All right, take it easy.